Today, we have two relationship stories for you from the world of Reddit. In one story, a man is told by his wife that she wants to start a family with him, but goes on to sleep with another guy. For our second story, we have a woman who can't stay away from her personal trainer, which doesn't lead to anything good. If you want to know how these stories end, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
Last December, I found out that my wife was cheating, but I believe it started a few months before that. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I collected evidence to be sure. In the end, I discovered everything about the person she was cheating on me with. Our marriage hasn't been the best. It has its ups and downs, and it didn't feel very solid to either of us, I think. I spent a lot of time thinking through all of it, and unfortunately, I feel like we're a toxic match. I'm more passive and agreeable, and she's more dominant and assertive. It kind of works since we fill in the holes in each other's personalities. My calmness and diligence helps us get through emotional and physical difficulties, like doing chores and taking care of our dog, things she finds hard to keep track of. And her resolve helps to make decisions, like buying a house. In other words, she lacks discipline, while I lack decisiveness, and in that sense, we kind of complete each other. I've been struggling with uncertainty my whole life, honestly. It takes me a long time to make decisions, and I tend to overanalyze. About 3 years ago, she started to want a kid, and I know why. Her clock is ticking, so I understand. However, for me, as I said before, it takes a long time for me to make decisions. I told her that I wasn't quite ready, but I would work on myself to get ready. After that, we agreed to wait for 3 years. During that time, I've been working and mentally preparing myself for it. I've been getting comfortable with our finances and have become less career-oriented. Over the last 3 years, I got all the promotions I wanted at work, so I'm not looking for anything more. I'm still not quite ready, but I can definitely step over it. I do want kids eventually, but I just feel like it's a bit early for me. Even though I say that, I'm very aware of her biological needs. This is where things get hard. A year ago, she started cheating on me. As I mentioned earlier, I found out about this in December of last year, but it had been going on for a few months before that. This threw everything off. I don't understand why she would do it. My mind's incredibly conflicted on this. I understand that our marriage wasn't that great, but every week she reminds me that she wants kids, and almost every night she whispers that she loves me. Yet at the same time, she's having an affair with another guy. 2 years ago, we got a dog kind of in preparation for having kids. Or at least that's how I perceived it. We got used to taking care of another being. But because of her affair, she's now ignoring our dog, so I do most of the work. She works till late night because she has a lot of work to do on Friday, so I make sure to get home earlier to walk and feed the dog. On one hand, I can't say I blame her. My uncertainty and lack of confidence about having kids probably added uncertainty to her own life. On the other hand, it completely threw me off balance and fueled my own uncertainty. She still says that she loves me, and still reminds me about having kids. I've confronted her about her affair 3 times already and explained exactly this, that it's very confusing and makes us very uncertain. She assured me to not overthink and that he's only a friend, but I 100% know he's not, just a friend. But I never pushed hard on that, hoping that she'd make sure it'd stop, after telling me that she'd take care of it. Yet it hasn't stopped. What is she doing? Is she working on her backup plan? I feel like some kind of resource, a utility, an object. If I left her now, she'd continue with this other guy, but if I stay, we'd have kids. But this whole situation makes me feel awful. I don't know what I feel, to be honest, just some weird emotions. At a minimum, it feels dishonest and ingenuine. Why would she risk our marriage like that when it's already on shaky ground and we're both trying to repair it? If she's actually unhappy, why not leave me? Why ask for kids and tell me that she loves me, and then say, "I love you," to this other guy? I don't know how to feel. I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for myself. I even feel sorry for this other guy, for some reason. Just so you know, while I was writing this post, it was 10 p.m., and she just came back from work, all dressed up and smelling like nice perfume.
From the sound of things, OP risking getting destroyed by this person. The cheek for her to say that this guy's just a friend when she's getting up to no good with him is disgusting. Asking your wife not to cheat on you is beyond me, though, and comes off desperate. From the wording of this story, it sounds like OP won't ever leave his partner, regardless of how many times she cheats on him. I would assume that everyone watching this video or reading this thread knows why OP's wife is coming home late on a Friday, and it's nothing to do with work. Even after telling another guy that she loves him, OP is hanging around, waiting for her to end things. OP doesn't command respect from his partner. I know I'm being harsh here, but he sounds like a doormat and incapable of living his life without her. Let's dive into the comments to see what's being said.
Username says, I can't tell you what to do regarding your marriage, but definitely don't have kids now. Perhaps you're a good earner, her affair partner isn't, and she wants child support for the next 2 decades. You need to work this through, so don't even think about children for another 2 years. Kukunetla, the OP responds, We're both good earners, and pretty much even in that regard. We can definitely afford kids, and would be fine on our own, so in that regard, we're more or less independent. I think it's more of the dependent dynamic that she likes, such as making sure our home, car, and dog are taken care of, in terms of keeping it all clean and in order. Maybe because she sees me as predictable or reliable, she can just assume that the dog will be fine, and not have to think about it while she takes care of organizing things like trips and vacations, things that I find hard to do for us. This is actually an interesting point. She went on a long 3-week job-related trip recently, and while she was away, I had no problems planning my own trips and activities for the weekend. I just find it hard to plan something good for us because I think she can do it much better than me, so I trust her and I'm a bit afraid of my choices. Lady Salamander says, Why would you want to have children with someone who's lying to you and abusing you? She's gaslighting you about her other relationship with her boyfriend. She's having her cake and eating it too. Does she stand to lose her house or financial stability if she leaves you? You're her backup plan and not her priority. She's using children to manipulate you and keep you from standing up for yourself and leaving her.
This 3-week trip that OP's wife went on, I wonder what happened on that trip, or if there was even a trip at all. This could be my own ignorance on display, but a 3-week work trip sounds suspicious, so I'm really curious about what she does for a living. OP needs to take a course on assertiveness. Until he does, he'll continue to be pushed around in his relationships.
I'm 37, and 7 years ago my girlfriend, who's currently 36, broke up with me. During our break, she slept with her trainer, then got back with me. She lied when we got together, and swore that she hadn't slept with anyone because she knew it would be a deal breaker for me. I didn't see anyone during that time because I was too busy pining after her like a loser. Within a year of getting back together, she confessed to sleeping with someone, but she wouldn't tell me who it was. We'd been together for a few months, and everything was great. I felt that even though she lied, robbing me of my choice, why break up when everything was so good? I decided to work through it. We ended up getting pregnant just a few months after that. Our daughter's currently 6. Yesterday, she confessed to me that the situation from 7 years ago was with her trainer. Not only is it some basic-level cliché BS, but here's the kicker. She's been working out with this trainer off and on for years. At this point, I'm not even angry at the fact that she slept with someone else. We already worked through that. But every time she went out the door to go train with this guy that she banged, I feel like it was an act of disrespect. We all know men would rather have a woman's respect than her love, or at least this guy does, and she clearly doesn't respect me. Training 5 days a week, which is her actual cadence, for 6 months of this year gets you 120 days. That's 120 times that she knew that what she was doing was wrong, and did it anyway. Assuming that she started training in July of last year, that's 240 days and choices in total, and that's this time. Like I said, they've been training off and on for years. In the end, I broke up with her, but she kept saying that all this happened a long time ago and she meant no disrespect. Am I tripping? Every time she went to train with this guy, it was disrespectful, whether she meant it or not. She knew it too because in this American culture, we instinctively know that she had to choose one of us. If she wanted to keep seeing the trainer, that's fine. Don't get back together with me. But if she wants to be with me, she can't keep seeing the trainer. It's easy. She just wanted to have her cake and eat it too. So this didn't happen 7 years ago for me because the last time she trained with him was earlier this month. Eventually, she finally admitted it wasn't a one-time thing, but she still insists she never cheated. She said she cared for him as a friend. and doesn't want to lose me over some old stuff.
Not a lot of people would have broken up with their partner after so long, but it seems like OP isn't the type to tolerate disrespect. While OP and his partner weren't together when she slept with the trainer, if she knew it would be a deal breaker for him, she should have been honest. Everyone deserves to make informed decisions about such things. I can only imagine what was running through OP's head every time he thought about his partner working out with this guy. And we all know how personal trainers can get pretty close and handsy. Who's to say that she hasn't slipped up since then? If OP hasn't done so already, I would also suggest getting a paternity test. These days, you just never know. Let's see what they're saying in the comments.
I'm Stunned says, besides deserving honesty, it's standard operating procedure to demand no contact with an affair partner going forward. For her to not understand this means she's not really remorseful and has no idea the depth of pain she caused. This means any reconciliation was false and nothing more than rug sweeping. I'd also add that the trainer absolutely knows that he has been disrespecting OP from the beginning, and for years. The mad survivalist says, OP, I like your style. You remind me a lot of myself. Your judgment isn't clouded by love or any of the nonsense she's feeding you. You have a good head on your shoulders, and it seems like you know what needs to be done. Please provide me with an update on how this goes. I love hearing about cheaters getting put in their place. Good luck, OP. You got this. Go forth and prosper.
Hopefully, both OP and his ex can move on and learn from this situation. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.